sharp after that technical foul. An excellent defensive play to knock one away from Malone, and he wanted that one inside.
If Utah is going to win this game or has a chance at the championship, it's got to be Karl Malone time. Guys are coming around his back. He's being pushed off the box. He has got to get to the hoop and take over the basket area. He's not doing it in the third.
Karl is trying to hold that position, which is where he wants to get it inside, but he's got to protect the passer to make sure they hold possession of the ball.
Steve Kerr back on the floor, played 9 minutes in the first half, missing on both shot attempts. Putting those on Jordan. Front was looking for a foul, and then on that second penetration dribble, the foul was called. That's 2 on Michael Jordan.
And you can look at the expression on Michael's face and saying, hey, ref, you make the call. Don't let the fans talk you into a non-call here.
That was team foul number 4 on the Bulls. Jazz do not have any. Russell for Jordan. Yes. Bryon Russell with a second three-pointer. Bryon Russell, a Chicago native, born in Chicago, grew up on Chicago's south side and then moved to California where he began playing basketball at the age of 11. He's been an important factor in this series. And a loose ball foul indicated. It is on the Bulls. It is on Rodman. It's number 5 on Dennis Rodman.
It looked like Dan Crawford was first going to call a foul, then going to call no foul, just the ball off Malone, and then changed his mind one more time as Karl Malone sold it hard to the referee.
And it puts Chicago over the foul limit. So Utah to the line when we come back. To the back of the neck of Michael, who has been exhausted right from the start, playing with what are being called flu-like symptoms. Dennis Rodman just picked up a 5th foul a moment ago, and he's been playing well in this third quarter. So Rodman sitting down, replaced by Jason Caffey, making his first appearance of the night. Karl Malone is headed to the free throw line. Malone is just 1 of 3 at the line. We have 2:35 remaining in the third quarter. The Jazz up 69 to 65. This game 5 of the best of 7 NBA Finals series. Series tied at 2. Malone missing badly on that first shot. A reminder, looking ahead on Friday. We hope you join us right here in prime time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Coast time, as Michael Jordan and the Bulls go up against Karl Malone, John Stockton, and the Jazz in what could be a decisive Game 6 of this NBA Finals series right here on NBC. So the Jazz now lead by 5 points.
Michael Jordan catching a quick breath here. Rodman with 3 phantom calls now, all reserved in the front court for Phil Jackson.
Scottie Pippen.
Great play, Bryon Russell. Absolutely perfect.
Howard Eisley running the team at point guard to provide a rest for John Stockton. Up on Malone a bit too aggressively, and the foul on Caffey. So Malone is headed back to the line with the Bulls over the limit.
Offense for Chicago, it doesn't happen, but then Bryon Russell comes over the top and taps it to himself. The second, the third effort. You gotta love those Long Beach State guys. Bryon Russell, Bob Gross from the Portland Trailblazers.
I knew there was a Trailblazer from the 70s tie-in somewhere along the line. Yes, Bryon Russell, a second-round pick in '93 out of Long Beach State. Came up very big in the playoffs last year, in particular in the Western Conference Finals against the Sonics.
The Utah Jazz have not committed a foul in this third quarter. Big reason the Chicago Bulls have stopped attacking the basket.
The Jazz 72 and the Bulls 65. 7 unanswered points for Utah. Michael Jordan on the bench, getting a rest. Tony Kukoc back on the floor with Steve Kerr. Brian Williams getting down deep. And Karl Malone rebound.
Karl got away with it over the back that time. He's playing with 3 fouls. Can't give up good position to Caffey.
with a double foul indication. One on Malone, that is number 4, and the other on Williams for Brian Williams, the second, and Jerry Sloan pulling Karl Malone. So he sits down with 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Isley able to make the recovery. Minute 25 remaining in this third quarter. What a second, a quick release. Williams with the rebound. Bulls with the ball down by 7 points.
Oh, this is where the Jazz fell apart last time when Karl Malone went out with foul trouble. They've got to keep their poise.
And no Stockton in the game either.
Scottie Pippen is fouled. And he was very fortunate. He had lost the handle, but he thought he was fouled before the call was made.
Along the baseline a moment ago, the double foul called here. Caffey, his 4th foul there for Karl Malone. That's his 4th. And now he's got to sit down, I would think, until about the 10-minute mark.
Here's Greg Foster. Played briefly in the first half. Foster checking back in. Turco. Foster rebound. Just under 1 minute left in the third. Utah with the ball up by 7, and once again they are on their feet at the Delta Center. Oh, what a move by Isley, splitting through, but came up with the air ball. Williams whiffed on that outlet attempt and was fortunate to recover. Chicago only 1 for its last 7 from the field. Pippen with the step. Here's Pippen drawing the foul. Foul on Foster. And Pippen headed to the line. A reminder, following the game on most of these NBC stations, your local news, and then the Tonight Show. For those of you who would like to continue with the NBA Finals, we'll have a post-game special as per usual on CNBC. That's immediately following our telecast. The entire cast to recount the game with highlights, and of live press conference coverage, guests, and a whole lot more as we look back at tonight's Game 5. That's the NBA Finals post-game special on CNBC immediately following the game. 30 seconds remaining in the third. Utah by 5. Oh, Pippen nearly hit the pocket of Isley. Down to 20 seconds. 5-second differential between the 24 and the game clock. Quarter section. Rebounded by Pippen with 10 seconds in the quarter. Kerr for 3. Puka missed on the tip. And that's the end of the third quarter. Set comes off the mark on that last second attempt. 3 quarters complete here in Salt Lake City. It's the Utah Jazz 72 and the Chicago Bulls 67. We'll be back here in Salt Lake after these messages from your local station. You are watching the NBA on NBC. Out in Game 5 and head to Game 6 in Chicago. Guys, many questions concerning this particular group of Chicago Bulls. Win or lose this series, and for Chicago, it's their 5th finals appearance the past 7 seasons.
Well, no matter what happens tonight, Friday, or Saturday, this is still a championship caliber team. And so why change anything? I don't think there's any question that Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Phil Jackson will be back. However, Dennis Rodman will not be.
If your motivation is money, you break it up now and you start looking. If your motivation is to keep something special going, let them play as long as they want. They're all willing to play on 1-year contracts. And I just think that this team, with the exception of Dennis Rodman, will be back primarily intact next year.
And as the fourth quarter gets underway, Brian Williams called for the foul. But still many questions concerning Phil Jackson, who has made it clear that he would accept a 1-year deal once again, although there's been so much speculation about that, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Well, I think Phil Jackson wants to ride